36-year-old Air Force veteran David Grusch is exposing what he calls a top-secret military program that has reportedly found wreckage of fully intact UFOs.
Hi, my name's Kane. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to talk about David Grusch and his allegations that the American government has been conducting a sophisticated disinformation campaign on the American population. I'm currently at home, have a broken hand, everyone, so I'm off work. This is like the craziest story to develop while I'm just chilling, and I got no one to talk to about it. It's just like doing my head in. So I'm putting this video together. This is a little snippet of what's coming up on Sunday. David's going to be in an interview with Ross Coulthart on News Nation, and crazy stuff.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
So David was part of the UAP task force, and well, for me personally, it gets a bit blurry because I know that there's Arrow, and there was AIMSOG, and there's the UAP task force, and there's ATIP and ORSAP, and I frankly, that's where it gets a bit murky. It feels like UAP task force was the good guys, and Arrow is the ones that are full of shit. But this is what he had to say.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
So it's very compelling, and fuck, I wouldn't want to live in America if this comes out. You guys are crazy over there. In Australia, we don't have guns. They've sedated us. We just do what we're told. But over there, what I see, yous are crazy. So, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to storm the Pentagon? Storm Area 51? That didn't work out. No, I'm just kidding. I do have some thoughts on this though. So let's just wrap up what little snippets we've got of David, and let's go.
If you're right, if you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
So most people would agree that this whole operation of whistleblowers and whistleblower protection acts and everything that's happened over the last few years, none of this would be possible without the work of Chris Mellon and To the Stars. So I want to throw back to 2017. I was there day 1, October. I remember that day specifically. I had a rough week, and this come out and it was like, what? and all my problems disappeared real quickly. So this has aged well, and I don't think that many people have seen this quote. So let's have a quick look at it.
There is nothing to prove here. These are just facts that need to be properly evaluated. Without the facts, neither Congress nor our democracy can function effectively. Once the truth is known, some anxieties will certainly be raised, but imaginations will also be fired. A renewed interest in space and science will inevitably result, and our government and society will respond. But we can only rise to the challenge once the public becomes aware a problem exists. Casting our eyes skyward again to the stars is a constructive and unifying proposition for mankind at a time of growing disarray.
That was Chris Mellon in October 2017, when him, Tom DeLonge, Louise Elizondo, Steve Justice and Hal Puthoff and Jim Semivan all took the stage to tell us that the UFO phenomenon is real. And since then, it's been like a roller coaster of emotions. You know, there's only a small band of us on Earth that have really paid attention, and then other people have their, you know, paths that they follow as far as the phenomenon, but there's really only a few of us that actually collectively follow these guys, and it's our job to, you know, put this out there. So David Grusch has said when these crafts crash, naturally there is bodies. We've had a few breadcrumbs on these bodies, and this is something that Dr. Gary Nolan said at the SALT conference recently. Now it makes a bit more sense why he was so open. Let's have a look.
People who, frankly, I know have worked or are working on the reverse engineering programs.
Okay, so let's take one step back. Reverse engineering programs
Of downed craft. Now, the first question that people will ask is, well, if they're so frigging advanced, why are they crashing? Because what's crashing is not actual living things. I mean, I use this example a lot. If you wanted to study a tribe of cannibals in the middle of the Amazon, are you going to go yourself and show up in the middle of the tribe and not hopefully become dinner on the other side of it? So if you're an advanced intelligence, you know, I don't think we're all that advanced, frankly. You're not going to basically put your life and limb at risk by coming here. So mostly what you're seeing here are either drones or some sort of advanced AI or whatever it is. I mean, look.
Dr. Nolan has alluded to these drones or biological creatures, or what did he call them before? Like an intermediary for something else. He's talked about this a couple times in interviews. Now he's more open by the looks of it. I'll attach a link in the description. I've made a little compilation of breadcrumbs, but between that and the fact that these may be drones, combined with what Tom DeLonge said when this started, you know, it gets even more interesting. So have a look at what Tom DeLonge said on Joe Rogan and maybe leave a comment. Tell me what you think.
I personally think the little aliens with the big black eyes, those are androids. They're biological robots. They're just programmed. They're no different than us cloning sheep. They just clone a being that can travel through space, because space is very big.
Or some sort of an artificial intelligence thing that doesn't have a life form. Right. I've heard that idea before, and it kind of makes sense a little bit, right? I mean, if you're a living thing and you're traveling through space, obviously you have biological limitations in terms of the need for oxygen and gravitational interactions and all these different things.
Well, one of the scary hallmarks of those ones, the rumor is it in the back of their head is a transmitter. So you got to wonder where it's sending shit. But
if we follow this path, the details get pretty murky, and I don't know, maybe not too pretty either. So we've been told there's bodies of non-human intelligence. The interview's coming on Sunday. There is rumors or, you know, educated guesses that they could be clones, biological clones. And Tom said that there's rumors that there's transmitter in their head and they're sending information somewhere. So we can't really proceed past there with data. But this is what Ryan Graves had to say about these things and how they're being seen every day. So we're just doing our thing, going to work, and there's possibly fucking aliens out there zooming around, bombarding our military, giving them all sorts of grief, and a highly sophisticated disinformation campaign enacted on the US population. This is juicy.
Can you describe exactly what you saw when you were flying in the air that night?
Certainly. We were seeing dark gray or black cubes inside of clear spheres. And we were seeing these all over our working areas on a near daily basis, sometimes coming as close as 500 feet to our aircraft as we were flying our operations. We were seeing this not only off the eastern seaboard, but we were seeing this down south off Jacksonville, Florida, as well as off the west coast. Now, with the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office reporting that we're seeing spheres globally that are proceeding from 0 to 2 Mach on a regular basis, we still haven't really figured out what those objects are. I'm personally hearing reports from pilots that they're seeing objects on almost a nightly basis off the Northern Pacific as well as Northern Atlantic.
Almost a nightly
and that's
basis?
been happening for several months. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
You know, if we wake up in the morning and the Earth is under attack by, what did he say, like black spheres? No, clear spheres and black cubes. You know, don't be surprised, because there's a highly sophisticated disinformation campaign being taken place upon the US population, and I imagine that includes the world. This guy has come forward. I believe him with all my heart, because I worked with a guy once. His name was Ben, and he was a funny guy. And the story that he told me was he was like an engineer in the military, and he was working on some planes, and he went in some files he wasn't supposed to go. And then the Australian Air Force, like, I'll just come out and say, my Air Force, they apparently messed with him, and you know, things didn't go great for him after that. Like, he wasn't doing well when he worked with me. He was just down to a shit kicker role, and then things didn't work out after that. And I fully believe that we are being lied to, which is why I'm making this video, this channel, just trying to help get little snippets of information out there. But also, I want to say to anyone, if you're watching this, we need to treat this subject with maturity and to the best of our abilities. Like, I'm a kid in a fucking big man's body. I am not mature at all. But I've decided that I'm not going to post beyond this point where there's like bodies and there's this stuff that could have like offend my friends and my family, basically upset their beliefs. I'm not really going to bother posting on Facebook much more beyond this. Like, those that know about this story, they know about it. Let people be. And I'm going to wrap it up with this quote from Jim Semivan, and because it's not a great subject. I talked to my son about this before I should have, I think, and I don't know. I have regrets about that, and we have to think about each other and not creating a vibration of fear and creating a vibration of oneness that is, you know, if you read between the lines, these things don't want that. So, you know, if you watch this, if you subscribed, I've been getting more subscribers lately, and if you watch my first video and then now it's like, oh well, you know, I think I deserve the 250 subscribers. So fucking thank you if you subscribed. If you watched it to this point, we aren't alone. Who knows what day we're going to wake up to tomorrow. This is Kane from Australia, signing out. Much love.
I'm not talking to you about this. What am I going to tell her or him? You know, these little kids, 10, 11 years old. Yeah, that there's a force that exists out there that can control our environment, that can put thoughts in your head, that can lie to you, trick you, deceive you, and that you're not in control of your life. I don't want to say that. to a 12-year-old. I mean, we're already saying it to a certain extent, but